Rich Tehrani here at CES. Thanks for watching. It's CES 2013, I should say. We're at the Yale Locks booth. We're in the Z-Wave Alliance Pavilion at the show, and on our program is Bryan Lieberman. Bryan, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
So Bryan, walk us through. What are you showing here?
Absolutely. So Yale Door Locks has a full suite of Z-Wave, both push-button, touchscreen, deadbolts, and levers.
Very cool. Now I know your company, many people out there probably have Yale keys, Yale locks, and it's interesting to see how a company that was in traditional, what you might call old technology business, now getting into new tech. So tell me about that transition and what you have.
Absolutely. Well, a requirement of a lot of customers out there who are both interested in home automation and home security are now thinking about, how do I secure my home, physically secure my home, when I'm not there? And that's why Yale took an approach of, let's integrate Z-Wave into door lock technology so customers can lock and unlock remotely, even when they're not home.
Very interesting. And how do they do that? Is it a smartphone typically?
You can access the system through a smartphone, through an application made by various application producers, or you can do it through your home automation or home security system while you're at your house.
Now, one of the concerns people may have, especially on the East Coast, where your headquarters is located, and we've recently had a lot of power outages and hurricanes. What happens during those disasters?
It's a good question. So when the power dies, the lock actually remembers which users have access and which don't. So when there's a power outage, the codes that you ask the lock to not remember, it will recall the access that you granted even during a power outage.
Very interesting. Okay, now cost-wise, what's a typical kind of difference between traditional locks and these advanced locks?
So a typical deadbolt will cost anywhere from $25 to $60. For a Z-Wave enabled keypad deadbolt like this, for a push button, you're looking at approximately $225. For a touchscreen version, $275.
And for that, you get tremendous peace of mind, correct?
Peace of mind, security, control, and true remote locking and unlocking of your home.
I know sometimes I've left the house and we're on the way to a trip to the airport and someone says, did we lock the front door?
And that's a perfect scenario. A lot of times people forget if they lock the front door, but because we have a motorized deadbolt in our product, you can physically lock it even when you're not home.
Now, along the lines of, I try to talk about all the benefits, but also some of the potential drawbacks. What are the challenges in terms of eventual hacking or attempted hacking of such devices?
So when you look at the number of codes that you can enter in our locks, 250, it's more than any other lock on the market. We program up to 4 to 8 digits in the code, so it would take quite a long time for someone to try to learn how to get your code. And when they press the wrong code too many times, it locks the door lock down completely.
So really there's electronic security that prevents any further hacking?
Absolutely. There's protocols in place to prevent people from trying to hack your lock.
Excellent. So anything else we should know?
Absolutely. On the topic of hacking, there's one new product that we're really excited to talk about at CES, and that's our key-free touchscreen deadbolt. And that deadbolt completely eliminates the cylinder from the deadbolt. A lot of concerns of security and home automation installers is that customers want them to key each of the deadbolts to the other keys in their home. Customers are also concerned about lock picking and lock bumping. By removing the cylinder from the key, you completely eliminate all of the hassle and concern with lockpicking, lock bumping, and rekeying to other keys.
And so then what's the technology that locks?
It still has the motorized deadbolts, but you've completely eliminated the cylinder. So the access point will be your code or your remote access through your mobile app.
So there's no backup in this case if there's any kind of electronic failures, right? So that's the downside in this case, correct?
Not necessarily. If the batteries die, and they will eventually over the course of time, like all AA batteries do, there's a 9-volt battery terminal on the bottom exterior of the lock. So even if the batteries do go dead, you can still take a 9-volt battery, power it up just enough for you to enter your code and retract the deadbolt and enter your home.
Excellent. So then the only challenge becomes failure of the electronics. That's the only failure that I can think of. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. However, the lock shouldn't be the only lock on your door or on your entire home. It should be a lock on the main access point where your guests would typically enter, but there should always be a secondary point of access for your home.
That makes logical sense anyway, because in the analog world or the traditional key world, sometimes a key will jam in a lock. I've actually had that happen where you can no longer use that lock, and if you didn't have another key, you wouldn't be able to get in.
Exactly.
Excellent. Anything else we should know?
There is one other piece of technology that we are excited to show here, and that's our NFC lock. We're one of the first companies to come out with a near-field communication deadbolt. And what that does is it enables users to send and receive mobile keys through a proprietary application that we've created so that you can send a key across the country or across the world to let someone into your home.
Wow, how does that work exactly?
So we have a mobile device with NFC on it here, and that is this BlackBerry device, but it would also be available for Android and iPhone applications. You'd go over to your lock once you've received the secure code. You would tap the lock similar to swiping a proximity card, and you would open the deadbolt as we've seen here.
Very cool. So basically, children born in the next 5 years will not know what a key is.
We hope that's true. We see the future of keys and phones all moving to NFC, and this will hopefully be what you expect to see on homes of the future.
Excellent. Thanks for your time today. This was great, Bryan.
Thank you very much.